Welcome to Fabulosity For You, and my name is Angie. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please click the subscribe button, then click the notification bell so when I upload videos, you'll be the first to know. Like this video and make a comment. This channel is about fashion, relationship advice, and lifestyle. And if this is not your first time visiting my channel, well, welcome back, my queens, and welcome to the kings out there. Welcome to all of my new fabulous ones. If you are new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. Okay, so today I will be doing the review of the 90-Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 7, Episode 16, The Razor's Edge. Okay, so we're going to get right into this video. But before we do, go get your drink of choice, go get your snack of choice, and come back and sit with your girl Angie. Email, text, email, call. You better send a letter in a bottle, baby, and let everybody know that your girl Angie is on the line. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. My glasses up today. I'm aware of my Christmas holiday glasses. Happy holidays to everyone. I hope everybody is enjoying the holiday season. So before I begin, I also want to announce I will be doing a giveaway. I will be putting out the rules this week, so stay tuned. Okay, so the first couple we're going to talk about is going to be Brian and Ingrid. Brian says he felt like Ingrid was taking advantage of him and he was proud of himself for standing up to Ingrid. Ingrid was like, okay, so he act like I'm a prostitute. And she says that he felt like, you know, I'm an opportunist to go to the United States with my children. And she's just crying, you know, that's just not me. That's just not who I am. He's mistaken about that. So the next morning, Brian woke up and he didn't feel right about how things ended the other night. So he called Ingrid up and he told her that he wanted to meet with her. So Ingrid was like, okay, because she felt like he really said some awful things to her. And she knows that she's not an opportunist. And she wants to see what he has to say. So Brian came in the room and he was like, I just came to tell you that I didn't like how things got pretty tense last night. And she was like, yeah, I mean, you told me I was an opportunist, that I just want to bring my children over to the United States. And he was like, yeah, well, I just want you to know I'm sorry how things worked out. I really wanted for things to work out. I really was looking to find love. And she was saying to herself, I know this man didn't come all the way over to my room to not apologize. And so she was just over it. She was like, listen, I ordered a cab or whatever. I'm about to go downstairs and catch this cab. I'm out. And so he follows her down there and he's asking her to lean down. And he hugs her and he started mustering these tears up. You know, I really wanted this to work. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. But I wanted this to work. I'm just sorry things didn't work out. And she was like, yeah, you know. And she cried. She cried. And he just kept saying, I don't hate you. I mean, first of all, she should be telling him this. I just felt like, and this is my opinion, I just think that Brian beat Ingrid to the punch. Okay? He knew, as I said last week, I don't think that she was an opportunist. Okay? I do feel like, yes, this woman has 3 children, 3 young children. And yes, she wants to make a better life for her kids. She expressed in the beginning that she really didn't have a lot of help. She has these 3 children. And she needs help to raise her children. And I'm not mad at her for that. So I believe, yes, she was looking to come to the United States. I think that she continued to be his friend after all the lies. She knew he was a liar. She knew that she couldn't really get to, who this man was. He was not the man that represented himself all the years she had been talking to him on the phone. But he was here in Brazil, and he was taking her to dinner and bringing her kids gifts and taking her on trips. And she just probably said to herself, I'm going to have a good time while he's here. Did she seem like she had any type of love for him? I don't think so. Did she seem like she was attracted to him in any way? I really don't think so. She realized that when he came to Brazil, he wasn't as vibrant. He needed help. He asked her to help him in the bathroom. When she said, well, first of all, he looked younger, so she found out he lied about his age, that he was only a couple years younger than her father. She found out that he did need more help, that he was not as independent as she thought. So this guy she was talking on the phone was not the man that presented himself to be. And so I understand if she was not attracted to this man. She even said she never been around anybody in a wheelchair. And I'm not saying that it was the wheelchair that made her not want to be with him. I don't think so. I don't believe that to be the only reason. But I can say this, I do feel like it could be part of the reason. And I say that because she said she really didn't want to be a caretaker. She really didn't want to help him like he needed her to help him. She said this. The night that she was in his room and he gave her the negligee, the red negligee, and she put it on. And all of a sudden the production stopped. We didn't know what happened. She was outside in the car, and she said that being around somebody in a wheelchair is psychologically is doing something to her. One night he was trying to have sex and didn't have the condom. But he had to do something and use something to get his penis hard. And she didn't think that was attractive, and she turned her back on him. So absolutely not, in my opinion, was Ingrid attracted to him to really go through with having sex with him. Regardless if he was treating her like a queen and it wasn't all these lies being told. I think that she was enjoying the time he was here, traveling, going out to dinner, getting gifts, flowers. You could tell she hadn't got flowers in a long time. He came over with flowers and she was like, oh my gosh, she was mad at him, and then she forgot all about what happened. So to some degree now, in my opinion, Brian had a point. I'm not saying she was an opportunist. I don't think she would even went to the United States. Her parents, she's the only child. Her parents would have been against it. The mama didn't like him. So I just think she was enjoying and being gracious while he was here. And that's just my opinion. If you don't agree with me, you can put a comment in the comments. And so she said that she was going to miss his conversations, that he talked with her a lot, that he cheered her up. So yeah, he was a friend. He was a friend. And she might have thought when he came over there would be some chemistry, or maybe it's still a possibility they can be together. But when she found out that all the lies he told, she wasn't going to be with him like that. So in the end, I think she could have done better, a better man, as far as a man that wasn't a liar, a man that was not somebody that, he wanted to treat her like a prostitute. Actually, he treated her like one because he expected something in return. But a lot of men that come over to another country, let's keep it real, they're expecting to have sex at some point in time of the trip. Let's just be honest with that. Whether it's right or not wrong to feel that way, most men, if they going to visit a woman, and even a woman is going to visit a man in another country, you spend all this money to get there, and you've been on the phone, you are expecting some type of physicalness with that person. Now, he just sleazy because he was an outright lie. And he let it be known in front of her friends and everybody else that he usually has sex with these Brazilian women right away. But I think that's the end of them. They broke it off. We'll probably just see them at the tell-all. The next couple we're going to talk about is Niles and Matilda. So Niles goes over to Mr. Ark's house to ask to borrow the money. So when he gets there, he immediately tries to talk, and Mr. Ark wasn't having it. Back up. First of all, you need to put your hands behind your back. You need to ask me, okay, if it's okay to talk with me. And then you proceed. Now, I do know in Africa, the older people are really treated with respect. So I don't know if this is how they do it, but this is what Mr. Ark asked of Niles. Niles had already told Matilda that he felt very intimidated by Mr. Ark. And so I think the way he talked to him, I think he felt intimidated, but he did what he needed to do. So once Mr. Ark said it's okay to talk, he went to go grab the chair from the tree, and he came back and he said, are you ready to get married? Can you take care of Matilda and your future children? So he was like, well, I am ready to get married. I can take care of Matilda. Well, so are you ready? And he said, well, I need to ask you something. I need to tell you something. How should I do it? Should I stand up? He said, no, just talk. So he said, Mr. Ark, I don't have enough money to get everything for the wedding. It was a lot of things to get. I think he only had like $114 when he actually needed, I think, $400. And he said, I don't have the rest of the money. So he said, this is a shock to me, because you're from America. Americans have a lot of money. And I really get tired of people from other countries thinking all Americans have a lot of money, when that is not the case, honey. There's people on the streets. It's a lot of homeless people. And even when you have a job, you still don't have enough money. Gas is high. Food is high. Taxes is high over here in the United States. A lot of people done lost their homes because the taxes went up. So that's a myth right there. Now, he says, I don't have the money because right before I came here, I lost my job. And he said, you lost your job, so you're not going to, I have to know that you're going to be able to, if Matilda come over there, that you're going to be able to support her. And he said, well, before I left, I went on some interviews that had a job that has better benefits, more money. And so I went over there, and I believe that I'm going to be able to get this job. And once I do that, I have no problems in taking care of Matilda. I promise you I'll be able to take care of Matilda. So he said, well, when are you going to come back and take Matilda to the United States with you? When will you be able to do it? Is it 1 month? Is it 2 months? You tell me. I don't want you to say you just said it because I said it. Is it 3 months? And he said, well, I probably can do it in 4 months. And he said, okay. Now you giving me a time. I'm expecting you to come back, and I'm expecting you to take Matilda to the United States. And he said, I promise I'll do it. He said, okay then. Because I'm your father, I'm going to give you the money because I want the elders to know when I see the elders and they ask me, I'm going to say, Matilda is with her husband, Nile, and her children in the United States. And they're doing good. And he said, so come on, son. We're going to get dressed and we're going to go and get you ready for the wedding. Now, I'm sorry. I think that all of these Africans are in cahoots to getting Matilda over there to the United States. I'm telling you. Because if they have these customs and they just sit up and bend them for him, Matilda don't go off for all the lies he done told. She's still very nice to him. I'm telling you, that's what they do. They be so nice and the family be all involved in the cahoots and they treat you like your family and you get over here and they still be nice to you. And as soon as that visa come, honey, that's it. And that's all. They out of here. If they had kids with you, they going to take the kids and they gone. The family don't know you no more. So, I really think they in cahoots with that. I told you how I felt about the Nigerian, how they act, you know, the scams they do. And I just feel like, I don't care. I just feel like Niles is such a big liar. And he tries to blame it on because he's autism spectrum. And no. You're just not a nice person. You're going to try to put a burden on your family if you don't have no job, and I doubt if he got a job lined up. And you want to bring home a wife when they going to have to take care of you, and now they got to take care of your wife? You're not even in a position to take care of Matilda. And I know before she comes over to the United States, he has to agree that he can afford. They have to see that he can afford her to take care of her before they will even let them have the visa. And so I just think Niles is full of shit. Is he going to come back in 4 months? Absolutely not. He has no job, no money. His parents are pissed. And so I don't think if he come back, then I don't think he's going to be able to bring her back. He said, well, it's going to take either sometimes 5 years to bring people over, or it's going to take a long time, I think, to bring people over. Yeah, and that's what you're hoping for. That's what you're hoping for. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but that's what's happening. And so we're going to go over to Adnan and Tigerlily. So Adnan goes grocery shopping so Tigerlily can cook a Thanksgiving dinner for his big brother and for his mother. And Tigerlily wants to make sure that she does a good job with cooking because it's a part of Adnan's culture that the women cook for the men. And she wants to show his mother that she can be a good wife for her son. So he comes in and he has all these groceries and all of the things. And he's really excited about his wife cooking a meal for him and for his family. And he's looking forward to seeing his mother and his bigger brother come and see and visit Tigerlily. So Tigerlily is frustrated because she doesn't know how to work the stove. The temperature is different than it is on her stove at home. She's in another country. And so she's like, Anthony, I don't know how to work the stove. I don't know what this means. And he's looking like, honey, I don't know either. I don't do kitchen. I'm a man. And so she's really losing her cool because he doesn't help her in the kitchen. Now, I would say this. The man went grocery shopping, okay? You can't Google the Fahrenheit that they use on the stove there. You can't Google that. The man you already know is one of those men that feel like the woman is supposed to be in the kitchen. This is who you chose. This is who you married. You did all of that, didn't do no background. You just went with him, and because he was young and fine and a boy toy that you thought you was going to be able to boss around, and you can't, and you're not. So, I don't feel sorry for the Tigerlily. So, anyway, his mom and big brother come in, and mother gives both of them a warm welcome. She was loving on Tigerlily. And then the brother came, and she was like, I don't really know how to address him. And she was like, the mother was like, just give him a hug and a kiss. And he was like, no hug or kiss, shake hands. Honey, if Tigerlily went from a man that set up and bossed her around, he probably was an older man, okay? This is just what I think. I don't know. He probably was an older man. But because it's a young man, I guess she's going to take it from him. But she jumped from one frying pan into the next, okay? And so she lays out the food on the table. When she took the bread out, it was burning, and Adnan had to grab it, and it was smoke, and he puts it on the table. He said, I saved her. I saved the bread because it was almost burnt. I almost fell on the floor when he said that. And so she took all the other food out, and it looked good. I was really surprised that Tigerlily was cooking, and I just felt like, okay. I know she's rich, so I didn't expect her to be able to cook, but she did. It looked good, and everybody said the food was good, and they was enjoying the food. The mother said, thank you so much, Tigerlily, for cooking this beautiful meal. It is so good. And she was worried that because it was American food that they wouldn't like it. But they enjoyed it. And so then all of a sudden the mother was like saying that she has concerns because she wants to be able to have a grandchild. And she wants the grandchild like right now. And so Adnan revealed that they're working on it. Now, in real life, allegedly, they already have a baby, which I told you, and it's a baby boy, but this is what's going on. This is, I guess, might have been filmed before they had the baby. And so the mother was happy to hear that they're working on the grandchild. And she said, well, you're going to have to bring the grandchild back so I can see. And then she started getting sad and crying that she's going to miss Adnan when he lives in the United States. And she said, you know how that is. You are a mother yourself, so you know how I feel. And so Adnan was almost in tears, and he was like, well, I'm going to come back like every other month to see you and see the family. And she looking at him like, I'm really shocked that he said that, because she was like, you know, when I have my baby or when I'm pregnant, I want my man there with me. So I don't know how that's going to go. And so that's how that ended. So next, we're going to talk about Sunny and Veah. So they go to the flea market to find an outfit to hide Veah's tattoo so that he can introduce her to his father. So they're at the flea market, and she picks this, well, they give her this white dress, and it was to cover her tattoos, and she really didn't like it, and she still feels like I should be able to come as myself. I should be able to not have to cover up who I am. But again, you knew this man was Muslim. Now, what I don't like about Sunny, I've been saying it a lot, is that he has not been honest with her. But he had the nerve to want to leave her at the hotel because she wasn't honest with him. But she does understand. She wants to be respectful to his father. She wants to be liked by his father. So she agrees to try the dress on. When she tries it on, she started having flashback memories of when she was adopted. And these adopted parents was very controlling, and they really was controlling on what she wore. And she wore a similar dress, and it just brought back bad memories. And she was like, I'll do it if I have to, but it's going to be hard. Sonny felt bad for her because he hates that she has to do that, but it is what it is. They said, well, why don't you look for another dress? He said, I don't want you to have any bad feelings. So she looks for another dress, and she found a colorful dress, and it was really beautiful. She tried it on, and she liked it. She did like it. So she decided to get the dress, but the dress was like see-through a little bit, so you can still kind of see the tattoos. But he thought she looked beautiful. He really appreciated her trying to make a change and make his father happy. So they get to the restaurant where the father was. Right away, the father was looking at her like, she will not do at all. But he was like, okay, I seen your pictures, and from the pictures, you look healthier. And so she was like, what does that mean? Like I look bigger in person? And he was like, yeah, that's what that means. And I would have felt insulted. And then he said, you look a little tired. So he was being nasty because he could see that she was a white girl, white woman, and she was not Muslim. But he comes out and says, so, are you Muslim? Or are you, you know that he's Muslim. Are you Christian? So she was like, yes, I'm Christian. And he could see that if she came from the United States to visit his son, that she had some love for her son. And while they was talking, she feeding him food and all of that. And Sonny looked a little bit uncomfortable, and the father was looking disgusted. So he said, okay, so you know my son is Muslim. Are you prepared if he asks you to change your religion to Muslim, will you do that? And she was like, no, I will not convert. And he said, well, that's not right. If you love him, that's what you should do. That would be the right thing to do. So she said, no, I'm not going to do that. So then he says, so I see you have tattoos. I can see that. If you were to be with him, will you get your tattoos removed? Because tattoos, and so she said, well, only reason I had this tattoo, my brother died, and the numbers on that I had tattooed reminds me of my brother. And he said, but tattoos are bad. So if you was to be with him, you would have to get them removed. And Veah said she felt like she was being ganged up on, that she felt like he was not treating her well. And she was right. So she started having panic attacks, and she put her head down, and she was like, I'm sorry, I gotta go. And she said it just felt awkward talking to his father, knowing that he really didn't approve of them. And, just tearing her down about her weight, tattoos, converting. It was oh so much. But before she ran away from the table, she said to the father, well, Sonny likes my tattoos. And Sonny was like, with his head down, like, no, don't you put me in this. Don't you put me in this. Now, what I did not like was the fact that Sonny did not take up for his woman. He didn't stand up for her at all. And when you know that your parents are old school, they're not going to really want you to be with somebody from another country, then, first of all, then why do it? And then if you're going to do it, stand up for yourself. Stand up for your lady. And he did none of that, so I didn't like that. So then, when Sonny left, he was embarrassed. The father was like, why would she do that? And then he said, I'm going to be honest with you. She's not Muslim. I can't condone this relationship. And so Sonny had the nerve to be embarrassed because Veah ran from the table. So actually, that was it. The daddy was done. He said what he needed to say. And so he went on after, Sonny went on after Veah. And he came in her hard talking about, why would you leave? Why would you embarrass me in front of my family, in front of my father? Why would you do that? And you the one to say you wanted to meet my father and all of the things. And she expressed, when he saw her, she had changed into her regular clothes. And she was like, because I don't want to be something that I'm not. I had explained to you that I didn't want to convert. You did not explain to me, or nor did you tell me that that's something I will have to do to be with you. I asked you a whole lot of times. And so she said, I felt attacked. So I have anxieties, you know that. So I had to get away from the table. I'm sorry I did that. I hope that he can forgive me, but it is what it is. So next week, it shows that he stands up and says, either you're going to convert or we can't be together. And it looks like she's going to tell him we're not going to be together. And I don't like Sonny because Sonny misrepresented himself. She asked him when his friend said it, hey, you know you're going to have to convert to his religion. Did he tell you you can't, you're going to have to cover up those tattoos? And he was looking down like he never said that to her. And I said this from day one when I found out he was a Muslim, that he's not acting like a Muslim with Veah. He's in a hotel. He's having sex. You know, they had some cocktails. I don't think that's what Muslims do before they get married. But he having fun with her because she's from the United States. So to me, he getting his groove on, getting all what he wants from her, knowing it's not going to work. Having her send her friend back, talking crap to her, left her twice, looked like he going to leave her 3 times, going off, snapping off, when he was never honest with her. So, I don't like Sonny. I don't like Sonny. So, I really don't think this couple is going to be together. I don't think Veah is really ready for a relationship. She still has a lot of close ties to Rory. She still probably is dealing with the loss of her child. She might need to seek some counseling. She was sex trafficked, I believe she said she was before, or kidnapped. She had a lot going on with her life, and I think she might need a little bit of counseling to help her work that out before she gets involved in a relationship. So, the last couple we're going to talk about is Joe and Magda. So, the next day, Joe and Magda get up. Magda is washing her clothes. When she washed her clothes, she's folding them up. Joe is looking at her. He knows that she's upset because he said at the dinner that he did not want to get married right away. And as he shouldn't. As he shouldn't. And so he said he hates that she's in this place, that that's all they've been doing is arguing. He don't have that much time left. And he just wants to be able to enjoy the time they have. So they start talking. He said that he's sorry that he doesn't have much time left. He never said he didn't want to get married to her, but just not right now. And she's, well, I don't understand. You said you want me for your wife. You said you wanted me for this. Sounding like 23-year-old. Sounding like a fool. And not to say 23-year-olds are fools, but she's naive the way she's talking. And what is it they're not to understand or know? If you love me, then let's get married. And he looking at her like, that's just not how things work. Listen, I'm not saying I don't want to marry you, but it's not going to happen on this trip, okay? Let's just get to know each other. And I don't have a lot of time left. All we've been doing is arguing. I can't think about marriage when we haven't even had sex. We don't know each other. So she was like, oh, so it's sex. No, it's not just about sex. Well, sex does have a great deal to do with it as well. I don't want to argue. So finally she goes, I don't want to argue either. And I don't think she gave in because she understands him. I think she still is going to try to get him to propose. But she's tired of arguing, and she doesn't want his last days there to be all about arguing, because then that defeats the purpose of him even coming. So they decide to go out and have some fun. She cheers up. She's looking happy. He's looking happy. And they land up in a park and they having a picnic. And he told her he never had a picnic before. This would be his first picnic. And she started opening up a bit about her parents, because I guess he's going to meet her mother. And he said, what about your father? And she explains that the father and mother are divorced, and it was really bad. It was a bad divorce. And she's like, it really damaged me. I mean, I had ended up divorcing my father myself. I think divorced my mother. I think she removed him from her birth certificate, so she don't want to have nothing to do with her father. And she said what happened made her no good with a man, that she can't trust no man. She just hated men. So he was like, well, what happened? What did your father do? She says, I really don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. But he did a number on me. I hated men. And that's why I never had a man be good to me. And that's probably why. And he said, that's probably why you really get into these relationships that you get into. And he said, divorce is hard, right? It was hard on you. It was hard on your mother. So that's why you should slow down and get to know a person before wanting to get married. Because then what do we have to get a divorce? It's not going to be easy. So slow your roll and understand there's a connection between what happened to your father leaving your mother and the effect it had on you, and now what it has on your relationship. And so, to be honest with you, that's what a lot of women and men, if they, when parents separate, divorce, it can sometimes, or see how your parents act towards one another, it affects your relationships with your mate or your possible mate or just dating, because you end up getting that toxicity from your parents. And she probably needed a whole lot of counseling after the divorce. A lot of children, even as adult children, it could be hard when parents been together a long time and end up being divorced. And so it's important to get that help, because she's very jealous. She's demanding on getting married to everybody. She's willing to drop everything. And sound like she's searching for love. It's a lot of women out here, the daddy left them, and they don't have a relationship with their fathers, and then they end up dating these older men looking for daddy. And so I can relate to that. And I think Joe related to that. And so I hope that the connection he made between the father and her wanting to get married, that would resonate with her. So I think he's going to next meet her parents. And I think Joe is absolutely correct on making sure that he gets to know this person, get to know Magda. Joe looks like he comes from a loving family. It's a big family. And perhaps they will one day get married. She's a beautiful girl. And so we just have to wait and see. But that's all I have. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan to do the last resort. I plan to do that as well. I'm going to I think we on episode 2, if I'm not mistaken. And so I'll just do 1, 2. I'm going to wait and do it next week. So next week, I'll be doing the last resort. episode 1, 2, and 3 next week. And so, if you have any comments about what I said about Joe and Magda, about Veah and Sonny, Ingrid and Brian, put me a comment down and make sure you like this video. See you in the next one.